3, 2, 1, go. Hello and welcome to League of Legends with me, MrWolfwise.
And myself, Azuba.
Of course, we're casting a game of League of Legends that we saw in the lobby, and already there's some wacky stuff going down at blue that you've met.
Yeah, it looks like there was a blue invade there. Alistair actually backing off with not too much HP. Is going to go and start up his own blue, but he's a bit behind MrWolfwise in the jungle now.
So it should be interesting. Of course, we do have some actual famous players. If you want to sort of rank them off there, Azuba.
Sure. In particular, we have Owen Booz on Janna in the bottom lane as a fairly famous Soloqueue player. I don't believe he's actually on a pro team, but certainly a very well-known player. And in the top lane, of course, we have Dignitas's Crumbs. Their most recent addition to the team is a very, very solid all-round player. Has been picking up those new top lane champions and is trying out Olaf right now, it seems.
Yeah, actually, yesterday he had a really good show at the MLG. I was actually really impressed with his play there. He did some amazing stuff, and he actually, in some occasions, almost carried Dignitas in some games, which is, well, quite incredible.
Yeah, I definitely think that's true, which is, like you say, it's very impressive for the newest member of the team.
So I'll just go over the matchups here. So it's going to be Cassiopeia versus Karthus. That's probably going to be favourable to Cassiopeia, wouldn't you say? Cause
certainly, yeah. I think Cassiopeia are going to be able to bully Karthus a lot in that lane, get a lot of damage onto him. But of course, if
there was actually some first blood going down at top lane.
Wow, yeah.
Traded kills there. Basically, Twitch just got a little bit overzealous and thought he could take on Olaf, but
the dive at level 4, a little bit crazy there by Olaf, but I mean,
yeah,
can't complain.
But
he does come out a lot ahead on CS. Of course, Olaf sitting at 19 CS to Twitch's 3 right now, which is pretty huge. A lead to have at 4 minutes.
And it's probably personal preference here, but I'd prefer to have an Olaf on my team than a Twitch in these team fights. I feel like Olaf could do a little bit better, but I guess Twitch isn't bad either. I mean, if you just look at him as an AD character,
certainly,
still be pretty potent.
His 6 item, I mean, he's supposed to be the highest damage of a 6 item AD carry.
Janna going in here, she does get a good slow off on that Darius down there. What am I saying? Darius Draven. And he did had to flash to get away there from that Caitlyn. And MrWolfwise was actually in lane, but he didn't actually even reveal himself in that gank.
Yeah, Draven being forced to play quite carefully now as the support has recalled, it seems.
Yeah, left him. KGS Snipes is also somebody who's actually, I believe, sort of semi-famous.
Yeah,
I've seen him play, and he does seem to be a decent. I wouldn't say he's world class, but he's definitely not slacking. And so in this jungle we have, of course, MrWolfwise, and it looks like MrWolfwise is going for the GP10, ability power move, which should be interesting. Not opting to go for that recent sort of. Was it Sunfire Cloak 3 Doran?
Yeah, veering away a little bit from the Azingi build with the triple Doran Sunfire Cape Abyssal Scepter type thing. Does seem to go for that GP10 build instead. I'll be interested to see how he builds out of that, whether he goes for the Aegis or just straight for the ability power type items. Actually, the jungle is going to a bit of an engagement.
Yeah, he does actually find Alistair in that jungle. Alistair was actually sitting top lane, trying to get a gank off on this Twitch, but Twitch actually playing extremely passively. It's so passively that he's actually missing CS. Olaf actually gets in a lot of true damage there, and MrWolfwise's being caught out in the jungle. Just headbutts him straight into this Olaf, but I feel like he should have headbutted him to the wall, but still, MrWolfwise having to flash to escape that. He actually goes in with the ninja rope. I don't know if that's a wise idea. One hit from that Olaf, but the cast assault has been coming down, and that Alistair heal just enough to save Crumbs.
Wow, some clutch play there by Olaf. Just a really awesome decision making, managing to get away with just a sliver of health.
It looks like Karthus is actually, so Cassiopeia is doing a bit of damage to this Karthus here, but still managing to get up there without dying. Yeah,
definitely. In the middle lane, we actually see a fairly big CS lead from Karthus, actually, which is quite surprising to me. Cassiopeia actually has run out of mana, possibly trying to harass it a little too much, and isn't really able to do anything to Karthus at this point. We'll need to go back and pick up some items before she can do
Looks like MrWolfwise did Alistair did manage to headbutt him to the wall, follows up that cube. Of course, as you said, Cassiopeia had no mana to follow it up, so there's no dice on that gank, and they just stays Alistair returning to his jungle.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's something that you really don't want to see in mid lane too. If you see this Karthus out CSing a Cassiopeia, it means everything's going to hell for you. But,
definitely. I mean,
of
that
course,
late game Kath is just really terrifying. Not a thing you want to see with those ultimates hitting so hard, able to deal a really large amount of AoE damage just in the middle of your team.
but of course, Dignus Scrums has actually already got first blood and another kill, as well as a tremendous CS lead on, or not tremendous, but 10 CS. But that's still quite a lot at the beginning 8 minutes of the game on this Twitch.
Absolutely.
Looks like Twitch spending a lot of time roaming actually, as you see Twitch do a lot of the time. I think this is actually part of the reason why Twitches aren't particularly good, because roaming can work out well for you, but majority of the time from what I've seen it just seems to not really work out too well. I mean, giving up all the CS, and if you aren't successful in these ganks, everything's really going to lose a lead.
It's definitely a high risk, high reward maneuver.
John actually taking a lot of damage, having to flash up, and Gatling Cannon, that ulti from Sniper, I missed that entirely, but he didn't manage to kill it here. Actually, Corky being picked off straight away. I don't know if that was too smart to sort of go back into there, but looked like Draven's also going to be picked up, and that's a double kill from Twitch.
I mean, that's the high reward side of the Twitch play, of course. I mean, like you say, most of the time, moves like that aren't going to pay off, but when they do, they pick up the double kill for what is essentially an AD carry on their team, and that's going to be a huge benefit to them in those later game team fights. I mean, if Twitch is able to get to that, Infinity Edge Phantom Knights kind of stage, and just be using his ultimate and dealing huge damage out in those team fights, it's going to be really bad news for Red Team.
Also, I haven't even touched base on this yet, and I'm surprised I haven't, but it's a Corky and Drub bot lane.
Yeah, actually, I was going to say, very, very unusual. Both teams having 2 AD carries, really. I mean, blue team opting to have Twitch in the top lane, and a red team with Corky and Draven in the bottom lane. So, yeah, a bit strange there, definitely. But certainly both teams can have a lot of sustained damage out, with high sustained damage mid laners as well.
And also, Corky is actually building as the support here. He's the one buying the wards, he's the one going for the GP10, and also not getting the CS, which is...
yeah, so it is really just to support Corky, I suppose. I mean, I'm trying to think of what utility Corky can really provide to his team. I mean, certainly he's got the Phosphorus Farm, going to give vision in the brush. It's not completely worthless. He's got a little bit of poke, but he's not going to be too strong and not too useful to his team in this game.
His base damage isn't too bad, but getting into that later mid game, he's going to be almost completely useless.
Yeah, so for the laning phase, I mean, sure, Corky he's gonna be able to help out, maybe even pick up some kills, be quite an aggressive lane. But like you say, just because he's not getting that farm, he's going to be no use in the teamfight phase at all.
The Mumu was trying to sniffing around mid, trying to pick up this Cassiopeia, but a nice place to ward. Gonna make all his efforts in vain. And also, for a double AD, is gonna be sort of Olaf's dream, isn't it? I mean, Olaf is sort of almost famous for just popping that ult and just running straight at your squishies and nobody being able to stop. So I think that he's gonna have a fun time later on in these teams.
Definitely. I mean, he's got that Ghost, he's got Ragnarok, like I said, and he's just gonna be able to run straight in and tear apart Caitlyn and Twitch. Twitch really gonna have to try and position well and use his invisibility to best effect to be able to not get caught by Olaf there.
This game so far has actually been surprisingly even. Since I cast only sort of lobby games at the moment, I'm very used to seeing at the 11 to 12 minute mark somebody already having about a 2k lead here, but at the moment they're actually pretty much exactly even.
Yeah, so that is kind of surprising. We might even see it, it break out into a little bit of the later game here, just with both teams getting very high gold counts very early, next to a reasonably high kill count. But even for both sides, like you say.
Mumu being caught actually in the middle of his jungle. Alistair and Olaf are there, ready to receive and easily pick up that Mumu there, giving Olaf yet another kill.
And that's going to be big. I mean, that Olaf's going to be really terrifying pretty soon. And I think the Alistair play here, actually, to pick up that Oracles and just be roaming around de-warding is huge for his team. I really think that's going to make a big difference as this game goes on. Controlling that vision and being able to catch Twitch, of course.
Actually, that was a good play. Twitch actually coming out in the middle of the lane. Cassiopeia really not ready for it, but she did manage to escape, but followed up by that Kalthasar. Easily got a kill. The
Draven ult.
That Draven ult getting into that Twitch, but Alistair wasn't quite enough there to finish off the damage, and he is caught a little bit in the wrong side of the ditch there, but he's going to be able to pull out easily.
Wow, the Clutch Draven ult's coming out in this game, just picking up kills, or almost picking up kills all over the place, burning cooldowns suddenly. And that's nice to see. I haven't seen Draven ult being that effective.
Karthus going to bot here, and he did manage to land on that stun, but quickly the two bot ADs are easily going to be able to back out here. Still actually going a lot of poke here, and Snipes is getting actually reasonably low. Karthus diving underneath the tower. He doesn't quite have his ult. If only he had his ult here, and Caitlyn just not quite in range, or actually not having the mana there to follow up with that ult. That could have been quite devastating for top lane, but luckily managing to get up there with the skin of their...
Yeah, Draven and Corki both getting away with less than 250 HP. I mean, very, very close. Olaf actually could be in a bit of trouble here, though.
He just turns on that. Exhaust has been laid down, and using his ult there, can he DPS down this Twitch? That's what it really comes down to, but it looks like he is going to be able to back out with 70 health there. It was extremely close, but of course that Mumu with his little stuns just managing to get Twitch out there alive.
Yeah,
Yes,
and I mean, already we see
the
the damage output from Olaf is just so huge. He hasn't even, I mean, he hasn't picked up any damage items yet, right? He's going those 2 GP10s.
Elsa actually knocking Mumu over the wall and pulling up that Q. Cassiopeia ult coming down, but Cassiopeia is slow from her ult, and also that Alistair pole was just enough to slow him down that Cassiopeia to kick into effect and easily pick up that kill. So that's going to be a kill for Cassiopeia, and that's going to be pretty decent considering they're still in the landing phase, and Twitch actually sort of running around here invisibly is going to be able to back out. But given that kill to Cassiopeia is going to really help her in this lane against Karthus, which actually has a kill as well.
Definitely. I think both of these junglers are doing a really good job right now of securing kills for their lanes. I mean, of course, they are both quite powerful ganking junglers, Amumu and Alistar, both with that hard CC, but both doing really good work just getting that gold advantage on the champions where they need it the most.
Twitch trying to take this blue here, and or just sort of giving this blue to, of course, a Mumu, or they really want to give it to Karthus, but actually Alistair coming in with a beautiful hit, but popping his ult straight away. The Janna ult comes out, but not quite enough to save them. The Olaf couldn't really land an axe there to follow that up with anymore, but still getting a kill there. And I think they didn't get blue actually, and Mumu did manage to pick up blue, and they're pinging on Baron here. Do you think this is actually a smart idea?
Well, I mean, a risky play here by Red Team with a lot of Blue Team in position to try and stop it. But actually, Caitlyn is in bottom lane, and of course, Twitch is dead right now. Blue Team's gonna have to pull something out.
They're going to have to pill off here. They're just a little too low level. 15-minute Baron is still a bit much. Even it looks like actually Olaf coming down here, catching a Mumu with Draven out there. Ignite has been put down, but Karthus is here to just lay down those Qs, lay down that eventual harassment.
Lands the axe.
Does land there. Mumu all comes out, but that Draven actually managing to pick him off, showing you what that name isn't just his name, it's also his playstyle, sniping off a Mumu there. Karthus actually going to be able to pick up that Draven low, but I don't actually think it's probably not worth it to sort of give up a kill to Karthus to get a kill on Draven, is it?
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, Draven, of course, going to be really strong late game as well. I mean, we haven't really seen what his late game potential is yet, but of course he is that AD carry. He's going to be dealing a lot of damage, regardless of whether his abilities really make him that much stronger in the late game.
Caitlyn having to run to her allies there, and Alistair immediately having to push off. Good little defensive play from Blue. Janna actually wanted to go forward on that, but the rest of them pulling off. Cassiopeia has been found in the jungle by Twitch. I think she sort of keyed on that somebody was there low because she backed off straight away, and they could do this dragon right now. Alistair actually letting himself take a lot of damage there just for a ward, probably not worth it, and they might even be able to take him out there. Twitch is chasing, and they do manage to take out Alistair. The Cassiopeia coming down, but again connecting with no one, and the Karthus going down, but right in the middle of the enemy team. Draven actually managing to pick off that Twitch before he died there, and is Karthus ult up? Nope. It is. It was ult, but
it is up, but
decided
he
not to use it.
Yeah, surprising decision there, I think. I mean, I realized it wouldn't have picked up those kills, but it might have just put Red Team low enough that they couldn't really do anything more here. They would be forced to recall, although it does look like most of them are going to be recalling anyway, so maybe he made the right call there. I'm over getting chased along by Olaf right now.
Oh, it looks like it is a guy. He actually uses that bandage toss right to him in a good play from that good situational win. And Olaf is still giving chase, though he wants this kill, and of course, I didn't even notice actually. I kind of he was running to the enemy tower. So
Mumu perhaps not with the best retreat strategy there, but with some flashy plays anyway, which we always like to see, of course.
And also giving that kill to Alistair over Olaf is probably still a better idea too.
Sure.
Alistair not going to be scaling as well as Olaf with that, and also it's Digna Scrums, so of course. It's also that aspect. You don't want to feed a professional player. It's sort of.
And with that in mind, actually, I just want to talk about Crumbs' build really quick. He has picked up the double GP10 really early on, the Philosopher's Stone and the Heart of Gold, and that's pretty standard on Olaf these days to build towards those CDR items that really just make Olaf that much more powerful. He has gone for a Hex Drinker and a Chain Vest after that, most likely going to be building into a Frozen Heart and a more Malmortius. Both going to be very, very strong items for him, just make him that much tankier as well as providing him with the CDR that he needs.
Draven actually being caught in the middle of nowhere, decided to take tower. A nice flash over the wall, but still the slow coming up from Twitch. He is going to give him chase and easily going to be able to pick that up. Corki is coming in here low, but he is support, so he's doing no damage. He's landing his ults quite nicely, and this Janna could go down, but she's going to pop the ult there. Kalthus is also here to receive, and they're going to turn back onto this Cassiopeia, and Corki doing a tremendous amount of damage with their Twitch, with their Kalthus. Their slow's going down. They easily pick up Cassiopeia. They're going to turn onto Corki. Alistair is here to save him low. He's going to have to Valkyrie away after that Janna flash.
Wow, yeah, huge plays coming out from Janna and from Kalthus there, just really, really well done. And of course, Twitch just still, that stealth really paying off for him. He's able to pick up unexpected kills all over the place. Unfortunately, we did see Caitlyn actually disconnecting, so blue team could be in a really bad position if she doesn't get back into this game very quickly.
Actually, the Alistair getting surprisingly low. That Draven is going to be out there to save him, but he's going to wait in that bush, use that pole and escape. But will he be able to? The ambush is being used. It looks like he will easily be able to escape here. Twitch just giving vision to his team. I'm surprised no one, I guess Alistair did actually pick up on Oracles before, but it actually sacrificed it to clear out that one ward, which also got them into a bit of a bad position. They did actually manage to pick up 2 kills for that fight, but still probably not worth Alistair on an Oracle.
Yeah, definitely not. Would have been quite nice, I think, for Alistair to hold on to that Oracles. Was being very, very useful for them while he had it, but throwing it away there for a ward, like you say. Amumu and Olaf trying to trade a little bit in the top lane.
Yeah.
Amumu not really getting the better part of those trades. Actually, Twitch and Draven going at it.
It looks like, oh my god, that I just sort of panned back just to see both of them go down. Looks like they just traded that last auto, and they both got killed up.
Yeah, the Kalthus ult going off, but it was a little bit late actually, and both of them do go down in the end.
Alistair and Corki deciding to try and take this dragon here. No dragon has gone down, but actually there was a kill down here as well. It looks like Amumu got extremely low, and Ajana was there to back him up, but did manage to take on
the exhaust being repeatedly used on Olaf, not actually slowing him or reducing his true damage at all. Of course, does still reduce his damage capacity a little bit, but not perhaps the most effective use of that exhaust. Though the Curse of the Sad Mummy did keep Olaf locked down.
Kalthus actually flashing into the pit of pit of dragon there, but only to die there. But he still managing to do a huge amount of damage to his Kalthus. Does he have ult up? No, he doesn't actually.
Very ballsy play there by Kalthus. Trying I think to steal that dragon, maybe pick up some kills in the process. Was not unfortunately able to, but I mean you really have to be pretty confident to try and steal a dragon when and against the enemy jungler. So I'm kind of surprised that he did that there.
I suppose I don't know if he just felt he could pick up kills. I mean, he did get Cassiopeia extremely low, surprisingly
maybe
low
that's
actually.
the case.
But still a little bit overconfident there.
Absolutely, yeah. Momo actually gone for the triple GP10 now. Has picked up a Cage's lucky pick. Slightly less conventional, but still certainly within their own possibility. Amumu not being the fastest farm jungler in the world, just picking up those GP10s to keep himself up in gold. And we see the reconnect from Caitlyn, which is going to be really nice for blue team. They didn't fall too far behind in her absence, with every team only having a 2k gold lead right now, but of course it's never good to have someone in your team disconnect.
Also, she's probably lost out about 30 or so farm just from that disconnect time. You can see that she is actually sitting on 134 before when she was doing an excellent job of CS.
But yeah, like you said, falling a little bit behind from that DC.
It's like blue team's pinging on their Baron. They are very cautious of it now, especially since that early play with showing you that purple team is very confident to take their Cassiopeia coming straight in, getting a good bit of damage off that Caitlyn, but Amumu actually landing a nice ninja grip over the wall, but they're in a really bad position here. Kalthus getting really low, but no one's really here to follow it up, and here's Olaf coming up. He's used that ult. Will he be able to pick up this Kalthus? He's going for it. That true damage is not quite enough. That pot taking away that last order is going to be able to pick them off here, and this is blue team in a really bad position now. Excellent pole catching the entire team there. Kalthus ult being laid out. Alistair goes down. He did have an Oracles there too, but still, it's a 4v3 situation here, and it looks like they're going to push forward and take this tower with this big menu.
Yeah, and they're going to pick up a big advantage out of that fight. So, I don't know, a couple of really unfortunate lacks of ultimates being up there. Cassiopeia not able to catch Caitlyn as much as she'd like just because her ultimate wasn't up, and similarly, when Amumu bandage tossed in over the wall, Could have got that Curse of the Sad Mummy off on 4 people, but was not able to because it was on cooldown.
The whole team actually decided to just ignore the tower and go straight for this Janna. Olaf actually caught her, and Snipes actually picking off that Twitch. Did he use his ulti?
It was the Ignite there, picking up the kill, I think. Possibly with the bleed as well from Draven's passive.
So this Snipes is just going to use a bad pun here, sniping all day, and I don't know if that was so bad, but it was pretty terrible. Anyway, their blue team is pinging on Baron here, and they're looking like they could actually take it. Yeah, they do have that Karthus there, which can do absolutely huge amounts of damage. They do have it vision. The purple team do have vision of it right now, so I don't know if that was such a smart idea.
A little bit of a risky play, but of course Olaf with not very much health right now is at about 40% health with no mana at all, and Cassiopeia just recalled. I mean, Draven out of position as well. Blue team picking a good time to go for it, but I'm not sure if they can take it out fast enough here. Of course, they do have Karthus, one of the fastest Baroners in the game, so they're going to have to try. Twitch still on their base though. This seems like a risky play. They're going to have to back away in the end.
Taking too much damage from that Baron. Still not quite enough to actually take it there. They did get it down to about half health, showing you that any team could pick this off at this point in time, so they're going to have to be careful.
Definitely.
And both teams showing a lot of interest in it, surprising amount of interest for a Soloqueue.
Unfortunately for them though, having lost that much health, I mean, they are all going to have to, a lot of them are going to have to recall right now, and that might just put Red Team in a position to be able to take Baron themselves.
And of course, Red Team with that double AD carry, Olaf and Cassiopeia are just going to do it outrageously fast.
Yeah,
Olaf
absolutely.
actually landing a good axe. They have a good bit of poke here. They're actually forcing him right back into their base, and as you say, they could take Baron here. They're deciding not to. Did Olaf? No, he didn't. I heard him sort of yelling. I thought he might have popped his ult there, but it doesn't look like he did. And yeah, they're picking up. They're going to go for Baron now, but they do have vision from the Caitlyn trap on Alistair, so they know that they're all coming back here. And immediately, blue team is pinging on that they are going to be ready to receive. Corki pushing down top lane.
Twitch and Caitlyn a little bit out of position though. I mean, Twitch going to pick up their red buff, and Caitlyn deciding that Wraiths are the order of the day here, but
Alistair getting a headbutt pulp onto this Janna, and a Mumu easily pick up Janna. Can they pick up this Mumu? He's using that ninja rope to jump to his minions, and is going to be able to escape. But now they're pinging on Baron, and now they can easily do this.
Yeah, and blue team losing their oracles there, are not going to have any control over the vision right now, and of course having a person down just meaning this oracles, this Baron is most likely going to be pretty free for red team.
Karthus actually using this ult here, and that's quite a smart idea. And Alistair immediately popping his ult to counteract that. But you can see how quickly it's going down. But Mumu coming in, actually Cassiopeia being picked off pretty much straight away, but still that Mumu sacrificing himself for that. And they're all really low here.
Wow.
Karthus giving chase. He does flash forward. Can he land this last Q on this Jarvan? It looks like he does. Shuts him down. Twitch is chasing after Corki. He's going to pop out ambush, and he does have will have that slow to pop there, instantly showing to spot that. So Corki actually pulling the golems there. I don't know if that was exactly what he was actually meaning to do there. And Olaf actually, and looks like they're pinging on Baron now. So these Baron trades all day in this game.
Wow, yeah, and I mean, I was just straight up wrong there. That was the furthest from a free Baron ever. The Karthus ult and the Azuba ult just completely shutting down Red Team and taking out like 4 of them very quickly.
Olaf actually coming into him, immediately exhaust gets put down, also the House of Shield, and he just get picked up straight away. That Janna ult was actually really well played too, giving them their armor. It looks like blue team will be able to pick up this Baron here, but it could be close actually. They really need Caitlyn to go back in there in order, and that looks like there will be a free Baron for them, but still, they're all really low, so they're going to have to back, so they can't straight away push. And it does look like sort of blue team is actually quite down on the towers, it being 2 towers that they've got to the 4 towers that purple team's got. So hopefully this Baron, they can sort of get back the gold deficit, which they are actually behind here.
Yeah, they are behind by about 2,000 gold. Not too significant at this stage of the game, and of course Twitch and Karthus' late game just going to be pretty scary, I think. And you have to remember that although both teams have 2 AD carries, sort of, Red Team Corki is not really an AD carry right now, right? He's the only even remotely damage item he's picked up is a Zeke's Herald, which, by the way, I just like to say is quite a smart pickup for him, but is not going to enable him to do an awful lot of damage, and so the late game of blue team is going to be much scarier overall, I think.
Yeah, definitely, and this Karthus actually already showing you just how dominant he has been in these team fights every single time. Every single win that blue team has had, I think, has been really largely accountable to this Karthus play.
Absolutely, yeah, and I mean in particular in that Baron fight just that we saw, he just destroyed everyone with the ultimate before he went in, and then following that up with a lot of really good lay wastes into that Curse of the Sad Mummy from Amumu, able to deal out just a huge amount of damage.
And also that Mumo, actually, just going back to that Mumo, only managing to catch 2 people up, but the 2 people he caught was actually, I believe, was Draven and Cassio.
I think it may have caught Olaf with the edge as well, although I'm not sure. But he did seem to be just standing on the spot, so I think it may have hit him.
Looks like they are going to use this Baron buff. I'm going to push forward, and immediately now they're only about 3k gold behind, which isn't a huge deal at 28 minutes. It's still quite a lead, but it's not anything that you can't come back from. And they're pushing down this tower. Actually, Caitlyn immediately getting burst down. The Janna not nearly enough to chase them. Olaf using that slow, getting both Janna and Mumu in there, and look like that that Corki just easily being able to pick up Cassiopeia being laid down. That's doing dead Carthus, and actually the fight has been turned somehow. I don't even know how that happened, but they turned this fight, and the drop not quite landing. A nice bit of jukes here coming down from Crumbs. He looks like he will be able to escape, but that fight looked so good for Purple Team that all of a sudden they were just all dead.
Yeah, just the Amumu ulti with the Carthus damage there, I think, as well as a little bit of the spray and pay into autos from Twitch. Yeah, and actually, I mean, Olaf even picked up in the end there, so it turned into an ace for 3 overall. Looking very, very good for the blue team. I have to say that the initiation of that fight was just, like, actually painful to watch. Like, we saw Caitlyn running way too close to the turret for no reason. Like, she was putting down the cupcakes behind the turret now, but honestly, like, she was much closer than she needed to be to auto the turret, and she just got completely caught by Alistair and torn apart. And that's exactly what you don't want to see from an AD carry ever on your team. Like, that she was just so out of position there.
Yeah, and that, as you said, you know, Alistair actually catching with a headbutt for coming the pole of Corki flashing forward, but of course, Alistair and Corki and the support Corki aren't going to do a lot of damage. Looks like Janna is going to be able to escape here.
Yeah, and of course,
she's actually laughing away as she escapes. And now they've been caught out of a bad position, but it's still 3v4, and here's Carthus coming in, getting down that wall, and my god, that Cassiopeia just got crumbled. Really not a chance there. Just trying to show you that if she even gets slightly caught at this point in time, she's going to go down instantly.
Absolutely, that damage from Carthus is just phenomenal right now. Just so much damage coming out from that Carthus. They're just going to push straight on to this mid inhibitor turret with Olaf a little bit out of position. It looks like they're just going to be able to take this unless something crazy happens.
Amumu landing a nice ninja rope right onto that Jarvan, and will this Caitlyn ult finish him off? It does! And now this Alistair is just a sacrificial lamb too. Olaf coming in from behind though, not quite managing to pick up this Amumu. He's going to change onto the Carthus, but he's just getting kited all day here. The Ignite, like last auto from that Carthus, from that Corki, sorry, managing to pick up that Carthus. And but man, there's just so many Purple Team right here, and that quick flash forward and that ulti from a movie, they're just going to clean up, and that's going to be a free and hit. But Cassiopeia is up, and they're up pretty low, so if she can land some good abilities, she could actually take someone out. Actually opting to use that ult, but not quite in range of that Janna. Caitlyn just freely autoing and using that summoning heal to keep her alive, and Twitch is going to finish off the job.
Wow, that's just, some amazing plays. Just Twitch managing to get around behind Red Team and get the huge damage out into the Ghost of the Sad Mummy. And then Janna juking the Cassiopeia ultimate was huge, and Cass wasn't able to do anything after that.
Of course, they did actually try to sort of take out one of the Nexus turrets, but had no luck with that, and had the back.
Yeah, a little bit over ambitious there, I think. And yeah, it looks like they're going to loop around, take out top turret, just spend all this newfound global gold that they had picked up from these turrets. And that's definitely a smart move here, although they are looking like they may get caught out of this red buff.
It is possible, else that basically a lot of the Purple Team are heading up there. They do know that they want to take this tower. Of course, there's also a lot of farm up there, so good reason for them to head up there. But looks like they are going to wisely back and not actually try and take the tower. But Blue Team has actually, Alistair almost finding them in that push. So that was pretty close.
Twitch actually recalled with 2200 gold there, so he's going to be a fair bit more powerful in this next fight. And yeah, in fact, we see he's picked up his Phantom Lancer to go with Infinity Edge right now. He's going to be pretty scary. Those are basically the 2 items that you need to hit, right, on an AD carry. Once you've got your Phantom Lancer and your Infinity Edge, you're going to be dealing huge damage out. Olaf, of course, has picked up a fair bit of armor, so he's going to be able to tank a fair bit of damage. Alistair also going to be able to tank a fair bit of damage, but everybody else on Red Team is just going to get completely torn apart by the damage from Twitch and from Caitlyn right now.
It does feel like at the moment Purple Team don't really have any way of protecting the Draven or the Cassiopeia. At the last few fights, the Cassiopeia and Draven have been initiated on, which didn't really help them too, but they're just getting picked off so easily. I guess the Alistair not really doing enough to protect them, but also their team line only really having Olaf to sort of get in the mix of it isn't really helping them because they're just, those squishies are being sacrificial lambs in these team fights.
Yeah, and I think partly it's just down to sort of a positioning thing and blue team initiating well, but definitely, as you say, not enough being done to protect Draven and Cassiopeia here, and that could potentially be their downfall. Olaf, I think, often not being in the front line as well is caught out farming or just you know, not quite up there when the fight does start, and so he's not really able to do as much as he should be able to, being that fed Olaf.
Twitch actually jumping out of his ambush, doing a fair bit of damage there. Olaf is going to have to use that and do quite a bit of damage for the axe coming down, and also following up with the double axes actually from Draven and from Olaf, doing quite a bit of damage there, quite a bit of poke to this entire team. So they're going to back off, just use that lifesteal to get back up, and they're pinging on this Baron right now. Actually opting just to start it straight away. I guess they do have minions pushing into the bases here, but
a little bit of a ballsy move, but of course their Baron clear speed is going to be so high right now. Look at that health drop. I mean, the double AD carry, the Karthus, and of course the Mumu as well, just dealing crazy damage. It goes down instantly.
It's like Jana using that Shirley's ult and leading the charge and then realizing how bad I feel. Alistair getting a perfect ult there. Karthus going down, but I think he's done the damage he needs to. The Karthus ult's going to be able to pick up so many kills there. And of course with that Mumu there, Tristana going down. I mean, sorry, and what I'm saying, Caitlyn going down, but overall, the only one who's left of blue team looks like Alistair's the only one left there.
Yeah, Alistair the only member of red team surviving, and like it looks like Twitch and Amumu and Jana just going to try and push on towards the Nexus turrets here, and I'm not sure whether Alistair can stop them. Of course, he's going to try with that headbutt pulverize combo, but frankly, it's going to be problematic for him here.
Here's Twitch, and it looks like Alistair's going to be melted away, and now they're going to switch onto this turrets, and now they're in a good position to win this.
And they could easily just be GG right here. I mean, there's 15 seconds until Corki or Cassiopeia are up, and yeah, it looks like the game is going to be over at this point.
So what do you think of that last fight? What do you think went really wrong there, apart from of course them having Baron buff and a big gold lead?
I think Red Team wasn't really in the position that they wanted to be to initiate. Ultimately, it was just a case of them realizing that the Baron was going on, and that the Baron could be going on, and that they needed to go and check it. And so they were just moving forward and kind of ended up being caught in a bit of a bad position. But with that said, I mean, they were able to take Karthus down very quickly, which was helpful because they weren't needing to defile damage for that long, the laywers for that long. But I think ultimately, Blue Team just had so much damage out that that Twitch and Caitlyn and Karthus were just able to tear apart the enemy team, and there wasn't really too much they could do about it. That late game double AD carry plus Karthus combo really just showing its strength, I think.
And also Corki not really being the best support. I mean, if they had somebody else that could have played a bit more of a bodyguard role, maybe it would have helped them out in the earlier fights there.
Definitely,
but
yeah.
Unfortunately it did. Anyway, this has been, of course, MrWolfwise,
and also Azuba also.
Yep, and of course Azuba LOL is his YouTube channel. I'll put a link down to his YouTube channel. I'm sure he'll do the same. And this has been a game casted by me and Azuba, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Any closing words before we sign?
Not really. I just want to say thank you guys very much for watching, and please keep doing so.
Alright, that's it. See you guys, and as always, take it easy.